You know,
shit.
we start out of our projects and discussing what we're going to be talking about. So, hey, man, uh, I don't know. I've only seen just a small part of it, just a small part, and I have no idea how they're going to get away with this.
Well, they've been working on this for 20 years, basically, because you already got a bunch of them already in there, And the thing is, see, this is where they get the American people all disembobulated. Conservatives, liberals, white wing extremists, left, all of that. And they use those terms to divide the American people. The working class, the middle class, and which that's the majority of the American people. So they bring that to divide the American people. They keep on. You notice, when you read this stuff, they always talk about conservative or the left. Uh, what you call LGBTQ? I don't know all the alphabets of that, but would you call them the left? You know what I'm saying?
I would say most of them are not all the way left, but they're like a little bit left of the center
Well, I
because
don't consider them left. I consider them a lifestyle. That's a lifestyle. They're requesting. See, we live in America. We are supposed to be free, so people can live whatever they. As long as they ain't breaking the law, there's no law for somebody to against the law for somebody female to fall in love with another female and male another male or whatever they do. But that's them. That's freedom. That's not left. Now, would you call want human rights and civil rights left?
what I call what?
Human rights and civil rights left leaning. Now,
Yeah,
think
well, yeah, because if you look at what's going on in the conservative party, they don't believe in human rights because if they did, why are they so hard and stuff on women and having abortions? That's part of the human rights. And that's
well,
also
that's
part
not
of
left.
people's,
That's not left.
well, I
What
didn't
that
say it was
is,
left.
but what I'm
I'm
saying,
just,
that's what they calling left, bro. That's what they calling left. See, if you read it, when you go through their stuff, like my thing was, I was reading the Small Business Administration, and they have their agenda. They think this is their agenda, and just reading the Small Business Administration, that's the only one I tackled, and it's only 20 pages. And the thing is, the person that wrote it, Ed, is a is is a fitness. She's the president and CEO of a fitness organization, and I don't believe she wrote it by herself. She probably had a lot of it because it's kind of technical, a lot of technical stuff in there regarding, um, making loans to these uh, religious people so that they can have funds and what have you. So, and they got a set aside. They want to start another organization within the SBA. They want to set aside almost $5 million to have a nonprofit organization be an overseer. So what they're doing is they are so called, and I'm gonna say put it in quotes. They want they want to put religion into government, and we want to be. They want our country to be ran by religious people. Now, I might not agree with a lot of stuff. I'm not a big abortion guy, but I believe in freedom. I believe a woman should have her own, should make her own decisions. But I say I'm not going to mess with a woman that's going to have an abortion. That's just me. But everybody has a right and freedom to do whatever they want to do. That's what I feel, because this is a free country. It's supposed to be a free country. And, same thing, they want to get rid of, um, you know, um, basically the EEOC. What is it? The EEOC or OC, something like that. The Equal
Mhm.
Opportunity uh, Department. They want to get rid of
Equal
that.
Employment Opportunity Commission,
Right.
and
They want to get rid of that.
that's what I was trying to explain when you said the difference between if people who is being human is having human rights and civil rights, right or left, and I'm saying that the right is trying to take away all of our human rights, all of our civil rights, and they're trying to take the country into a different direction. And just like you said, uh, the religious right, they were the ones and stuff back in the 80s and stuff who decided that this is where they wanted to take the country. And that's where we headed.
Well, we only headed there because there are
We're headed
too many
there.
people.
You're headed there when you have a Supreme Court who have taken away most of women's rights. They've taken and throw Roe versus Wade and stuff out the window. It's no longer there. States have been allowed to do what they want to do and stuff as far as the rights and stuff that women have. And now they're taking away the rights of our EPA. They limiting their rights and stuff as what they can do and stuff as far as the Environmental Protection Agency is concerned by a ruling they made about 2 months ago. So they're slowly taking away our rights. And they're also and stuff blurring that line between church and state, because in the Constitution it says, there's a separation of church, there's a separation of state. So if you got a separation of church and separation of state and everything, then and you turn around and say it's okay to give the state's money to religious groups, or it's okay to give money to private schools and stuff. And most of the private schools are religious schools. So they're blurring that line. And those rights and stuff are being taken away. And it looks like with this Project 2025 that they are want to complete that task. And there are some really volatile issues and stuff and everything in that. And I think that that's what's going on. And it looks like the Republican Party is willing to go along with all that.
Well, you
I,
see what they just passed, don't you? They Anybody that registers to vote got to have to prove that they're a citizen. So if you come there with a driver's license, so how do you prove that you're a citizen? How do you prove that you're a citizen? Because basically the only thing that you come with is what? You
you
have
have
your,
to show them your passport
there you go. How many people got a
or
passport?
your birth certificate. Well, actually and stuff, Ted, the uh, the Congress and stuff did pass a law and everything that everyone in this country should have a passport, but they keep kicking that ball down the road a little bit, and they're allowing states and everything to give out these special license and driver's license and everything that shows that you are a citizen and stuff. And so with that going on, they're saying that it's okay not to have that passport, but eventually they're asking everybody in this country and stuff to have a passport. So with that passport, you can take it to the polling place and vote.
Yeah. Well,
Because because I used to do voter protection, and part of my job was to be there at the polling places and stuff, sitting outside. And if someone had a question about voting and everything, I would be the one and stuff to answer that question and everything and stuff for them, so they can be able to go inside the polling place and vote. And there were a lot of in some of these states and everything, there were poll captains and stuff who were um, denying senior citizens a chance to move ahead of the line and vote. Now, in some precincts and stuff, the precinct captain allowed senior citizens, if you were above uh, 65, I think, or 75, they allowed you to move ahead of the line and vote ahead of anyone else because you couldn't stand in line. Well, in certain other precincts, they allowed you to do that, but they would make you sit, the senior citizen, to sit and wait until your place came up in line, and then you stood up and got in line and voted. So depending on where you vote at is what the heck happened. And that was the reason why you had some very smart politicians and stuff who were running for office and everything decided to use a procedure and stuff as far as voting and stuff to get their people to the polls. And they call that early voting. And because Republicans were the ones that was first decided to have early voting because they want to allow their people to come to the polls so they'll know who voted. Well, when the Democrats realized what the heck was going on and that this was a tool for them to use to get their people to the polls and stuff and not have them to stand in line and stuff on election day, because if you had a problem and stuff with your registration or whatever, then if you voted early, you would be able to correct whatever problems that they said you had and stuff as far as your identification. But if you waited until election day and everything, and there was any kind of problems, the people there inside the polling area can say, well, you either going to file a have a provisional ballot or you can't vote. So by the time they would have had a chance to correct whatever was going on wrong or whatever they didn't bring and stuff to the polling place, then they didn't have any time to do it because 8 o'clock that night, the polls closed, or 7 o'clock, depending on what state you're in.
anyway, I want to get back to what we're talking about, 2025.
But we wasn't talking about that at first because you didn't, you didn't, you started out asking about human rights and civil rights. Are they right or
Well,
left?
it's related to this 2025. Now the
How is
reason
it?
why
How
the
is it?
reason
How is that related to 2025? If you asking
because
about
what I said earlier is that they want to incorporate religion into every facet of government. They use the term conservative. This is their big thing. Conservative, conservative, conservative. Right here in their heading, they say the SBA and conservative administration. In a conservative administration. Um, I'm gonna use this for a thing for example. Um, during 2020, there was PPP money, right? Paycheck money. So this money, this PP money, there was practically $1 trillion that was laid out for people. That's how much money. And it was 3 of them that was sent out. Millions and millions of dollars, billions and billions of dollars sent out to these people. Free money. This is the whole thing. All of that money was given to these so-called employees that's supposed to have been given employers. It's supposed to be given to employees. Now, the skinny is that a lot of people didn't get it, but a lot of people did get the money. The employees did give that money out to the people that needed that money, that had been employed, but they told them to sit down because of the pandemic. Well, they found out that over almost 100,000 people have made those, some of those loans were not authentic. So now you got all of these hundreds of thousands of people that applied for PP money and they weren't even a business and they got the money. Some of that money was distributed by the Small Business Administration, and then some of it was given to other banks to send out that money. Now, a lot of people say, well, you know, when 45 was in charge, you know, and we was living good. You was getting free money because of the pandemic. They gave out 3, and then on top of that, didn't they give? They also gave out to everybody 2 checks. So some of those people got 5 checks. So they probably got about $20,000-$30,000. Some of these people. And if they was making 10,000, or some of these people was making 10,000 a month, I mean, were they getting 10,000 a month free doing nothing? We don't know. We don't know, because you know, $1 trillion goes a long, long way. So now you got the reason why we are $34 trillion in debt is because all of these people are nothing but drifters. They're grifters, man. That money went somewhere. So now you got these conservatives, they want to come in, and when you read their programs, all they're doing is what they want to take over so that they can run more money. That's it. That's all they want to do. They want to take over. Who controls the gold?
I'm trying to figure out how you translate PPO money to the project 2015,
Well, that was
2025, I'm
involved.
sorry.
That was involved. This is all in their thing. If you read it into the Small Business Administration, they talking about it, saying that there was a lot of fraud involved, but that didn't have to do anything with this administration. That was that last administration that was pouring out that money, and he gave all that money away. And then Biden came in, and then he did some stuff. So the bottom line is that what I'm saying is that, you know, if I can read it to you, tell you this is what they're talking about. A full accounting of and end of waste, fraud, and abuse relief program includes the PPO and the EIDL programs. So, and they go on to talk about the different things, and then they say they want to set up a set aside nonprofit, NGO, nonprofit government company, set that up so that they can monitor every dime and nickel of that money that comes in to be used for SBA. SBA get a lot, billions and billions of dollars to distribute the loan out. So all I'm saying is that this is nothing but a takeover. Everybody think that this right here, you know, they just want to get a job. No, this is a takeover. This ain't no job. This is a takeover. and
What
they looking for people to
what do you
work for
mean
them.
by what do you mean people are saying that this is a job? What do you mean a job by that
Well,
statement?
they're looking for 20,000 people. They
They're
asking people
looking
to
for how
apply
many people?
20,000
For what?
to get in certain positions. When if Trump wins the race, they're looking for 20,000 people to be ready to fill those positions, because a lot of people gonna either be forced out of a job, or they're gonna force them to retire, or they're gonna fire them, so that they can get in those key positions. This is what's dangerous about it. Now, do I agree with everything where the government is set up? No, but they got a plan. You remember you always say you gotta have a plan. They got a plan, and it's all about the money. They got a plan, bro. And each
Well,
one of these programs that they were talking about knocking off, EPA, education, where's that money going, bro? That education money is going to private schools. It's going to the states, and the states gonna be able to go and pay for private schools. This governor right here, right now, is giving money to private schools.
well, the Supreme Court said it's okay to give it to him, so it's happening right now in Biden's administration.
But that ain't nothing
Uh,
but a drift. That's a drift. That's all it is. Because number one, okay, you get $2,000 a year since your child is not going to go to a public school, but you got to pay 5 more thousand or 10 more thousand. How many people can afford that and pay $12,000 a year to send your child to a private school? That's just like charter schools. Charter schools don't have transportation. So the only way that your child is going to get to school is every morning you got to pick them, you got to take them to school, and then you got to pick them up.
let's be realistic and stuff here. We have a huge government, and over the years, it has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And as I was reading some of the things, just like you were talking about the Department of Education or whatever, um, in some ways, what they are talking about doing with some of the things and stuff is already happening and stuff right now. But they're talking about having something to completely dismantle this entire government.
Absolutely.
And to completely dismantle this entire government, it's not possible.
That's what you say.
It's not possible.
That's what you say.
And 2,000 people cannot dismantle this
20,000.
government.
20,000.
20,000 people
That are,
cannot
no, these are
dismantle.
people with authority they hiring. They're going to
It
be in a
doesn't
position of
matter.
authority.
It doesn't matter. Look at, you go out into a company, into private industry, smaller than the federal government, and there are edicts that come down from on high as to what they want to happen down there in the place where they are actually making the products at. I guarantee you that half of that stuff does not get down to that floor, because by the time it filters down, Joe Blow's got to get to it. He's got to sit there and figure out how he's going to implement this stuff. Then it goes down to the next level of management, and then they're going to have to figure out how they are going to get this done. And they can't just stop what's going on down at the bottom because you're not going to make any money. This company is going to go broke if they try to hold their stuff. That's what they're planning on doing. They're going to go completely broke, and it's going to be a absolute mess.
Ed,
It is
Ed,
not going to
Ed,
happen.
Ed, Ed. We don't manufacture anything anymore, bruh.
We manufacture a lot of stuff, Ted.
We might manufacture a lot of stuff, but hey, that stuff has been cut way in half.
The
Right now,
the
we
the, the
manufacture
point
thirty
the,
percent of our products now.
the point that I'm trying to make is by the time the CEO puts out an edict and it hits down to the bottom where they need to enact that plan that he is talking about doing, is half of that stuff that he's talking about doing does not get enacted. It does not happen.
Okay,
I'm
let me
telling
just
you,
okay, let
that's the
me give
way
you my
they're
own
saying it. It does
experience.
not happen.
Let me
Now
give you
you
my own experience working for several Fortune 500 companies. When I worked for, I got hired initially in the 90s or whenever it was, yeah, in the 90s, and it was Nation Bank. Bank of America came along and bought Nation Bank out. It took them, and you're right, it took them a few years to transition, but it was done.
that's a different story. You're talking
No,
about
I'm just saying.
you're talking about one entity, one financial institution absorbing into another financial institution, and they're still doing the same thing that they were doing in that little small company that they're going to be doing at Bank of America. There are passing out checks. They have tellers. They have ways ATM machines. They have all that stuff going on. They
But it's
have
all
loans that's
different
going out.
policies,
All of
bro.
that, but it's still happening. The still basic things that are happening is happening. You're still giving out loans. You're still giving out mortgages. The same thing that other institution was doing.
But
That's what I'm
listen
trying
to
to
what you
say.
just
It
said.
does not change.
Listen to what you just said.
Yes.
If you go into every department, education, EPA, all the ones that they want to cut out or what they want to do, they it might take a year, 2 years, three
It's
years,
going
four
to
years,
take a
but
heck
it
of a
will
lot
get
longer
done.
than that, Ted.
It
You
will get
cannot
done.
transition that stuff to happen.
Oh
There's
yeah,
too
it will
many
get done,
people
bro.
there.
It
There's
will get
too many
done.
people.
Well,
You
you can say
can't.
what you want. How many
It is
employees do you think the government?
impossible.
Most of that stuff is already being farmed out already, bro. That's why you have over.
The,
That's why you have over
the Supreme
1.7
Court,
million nonprofit organizations.
the
That stuff is
Supreme
being farmed
Court,
out.
uh, uh, the Supreme Court 3 years ago says that they are abolishing Roe versus Wade. Abortion is still going on in this country. They said this stuff, the law came down from them on high saying they're going to stop abortion. We're not going to have abortions anymore. They're still doing abortions in this country.
Where?
They're doing it in Illinois. They're doing it in most of these northern states. They're
Where?
having
Where else?
abortions.
Where they not doing it though? Ed?
They're not, they're trying to stop it in
Where are
Texas.
they
They're
not
trying to
doing it?
stop
Ed?
it. They're trying to stop it here in Florida and all over down there. But these people are transitioning to other states and stuff, having abortions and
So
going back
they
across
don't
the
have they
border.
don't have freedom. They don't have freedom, bro.
So it's they.
They don't have
All I'm
freedom.
saying to you, I don't
They
care
do
what
not
the heck
have freedom.
happens.
They don't
Somebody
have freedom, bro. If
is
I
not.
can't, if a woman cannot have abortion
They're,
in Texas
but
and
they
she
are
got to go way
still.
to New York to go have abortion, that is
Then
not freedom,
fine.
bro.
Then fine.
That is not freedom.
Because do you
That's the reason
remember?
why we left.
Do
That's the
you
reason
rem?
why our family left the South and moved to the North
But Ted, do
because
you
we didn't have
realize?
freedom.
do you realize before they made abortion legal, before Roe versus Wade, what women were doing to
They was
themselves to
having them
have an
babies or they
abortion?
went somewhere
They were
else.
still having abortions.
That's not the issue. The
Well,
issue is freedom.
the issue is and stuff is that no
No,
matter
the
what they
issue is
do,
total
Ted,
freedom.
there is
You
freedom.
can't
It's
have
freedom to
part
go
freedom
across the
somewhere else.
border.
That's a
They
divided
can drive
country.
across the border and
That's a
go to another
divided
state
country,
and
Ed.
have an abortion.
That's a divided country.
It doesn't matter. That's you. It's
That
still going
it's just
on.
like,
What
okay, if I'm
abortion
living in Florida, I'm
is
living in
still
Florida, and they say,
happening,
in order for you to
and
move
they're
to
not
California, you got to have this and that and that. That's not
and
freedom.
and they're not going to stop it. The point is that they're not going to stop it. Whatever they're trying to do, they're not going to be able to enact 2025. They might be able
Okay,
to,
all right.
they might be able to enact part of it, but they're not going to be able to enact 2025, even if
Well,
Trump gets in
okay, that's
office.
fine. That's what you believe.
Even if Trump gets in office. And the only reason why they can be able to do that, they're going to need more than 20,000 people to take this country and turn it over. Do you realize how long it took Hitler to enact his thing, what he wanted to do?
He did it though.
He did it, but it took him a long
I
time.
don't care. What I'm
It
saying
took him
is,
a long
if
time.
people,
And what happened to him?
how
What
many people
happened to
died?
him?
How many
What
people
happened
died?
to him? That
How
boy
many
did.
people died when
He
they
he's
allowed
getting
him to be in
he's
control?
getting his mail from the groundhog, and Germany is back where they were before. And they call them now the Democratic Republic of Germany. That's where he went. It only lasted how long? About 8 years. That's it. And they're right back to where they were before he came into power. History repeats
Oh, you
itself.
talk like that was an easy thing to do. You talk like that was an easy thing to do. That wasn't an easy thing to do.
Ted, when you have someone who poison the citizenry of their state, poison their mind, and come across with crazy ideas, there are also people and stuff who are sitting there watching these folks' mind being poisoned. But the citizenry have an uprising and stuff going on. They are the ones that help to destroy that bad man out there who was Hitler at that time.
And
His
that's our
own
problem right
his
now.
own
We don't have
people,
enough people
his
to get
own
rid of that
people,
bad man.
his own people and everything helped to destroy him. Okay? So if you have something that is screwed up, out of whack, and I'm looking at that yellow or red haired son of a gun, he is a nitwit. You can't deny that. He is a nitwit. If he stays in power, it's only going to be for a short period of time, no matter if he wants to be a dictator or not. That man is
It's not really
70.
about him, bro.
That man is 78 years old.
This ain't about him.
He just about where Biden is at right now.
This ain't about him. This
Huh?
ain't about him. These are about these people, these thousands and millions of people that want these changes.
But you have to have somebody who is the dictator or who is the administrator of this whole daggone thing, Ted, to make sure that the thing goes on. And if you don't have a head, the body will die.
But here's the thing, we've talked about this. We talked about espionage, we talked about spies and sales and all of those things. These people would be another facet of going into certain departments and trying to sabotage and whatever to do whatever they can to destroy it.
Yes,
They've
that's
already
going on now. They're
doing
going
things
on
now.
right
They're
now.
already doing things now. But what I'm
They're
saying
going
is
on now. It's going
they'll
on
be
right
even
now.
more powerful then.
It's going on now.
We already know that. But what I'm saying is that they're going to be more powerful.
the
because
world, Ted,
they're gonna be handling the strings for 4 years,
the
spending that money, giving it
the
to their cronies. That's what they're
this
doing. That's what this all is a drift, man.
this country and this world, Ted, is all about power. Who
And money.
has the most power?
That's right. And it look like we ain't
Who
got the
has
power.
the most power? And it has been a constant struggle since 1776. Who has the most power? And right now, everybody is fighting for that power. You got folks there in Congress fighting for that power. It's all about power. And it's going to be that way until they pat dirt in my face and they pat dirt in yours and your children, your grandchildren. It's going to be all about power. Who has the most power? How are you going to fight power?
How do you fight power?
You don't. You just you work to become uh what you need to do, the just like the church did, religious right did. They fought like hell all the way up until now. And now they got part of what they want in the Supreme Court. They fought like hell to get those justices on there so they can change Roe v. Wade, or to sit down there and change what they want to change this country. And the Supreme Court is sitting there right now, giving them that power.
That's the
It
truth.
took a long time, but they are now trying to give them that power. So now what happens? They're struggling to get into the executive branch, to get ahead into the executive branch. So they're laying the groundwork for the head to get there. But the head is flawed.
You ain't never lied on that. You ain't never lied on that.
That
And
head
they know
is
it.
flawed. And they're sitting there putting their eggs in that basket. They do not know what they're doing.
The question is, who
this
is going to
man,
be
this man is not about them. He's not about none of them. And he has showed them all of his people and stuff that he drug into that mess in January. His attorneys and all that stuff. They're sitting there in court. They're trying to keep their license so they can practice law. They got Rudy. They got Rudy over there. They done took his license. He can't practice law in D.C. He can't practice law in New York. He filed in bankruptcy. So he goes down to Mar-a-Lago and said, "Hey, Trump, I've been trying to help you, bro. I need some cash." And Trump threw him out. Get out of here. Oh, man. Oh, man. This is too much, man. Oh my God.
Well,
Oh,
I mean, some people is calling it 2025 a nothing burger, but
yeah.
I'm taking it
Now,
serious because you got too many people that want power and money.
Ted, it's not that I'm not taking it serious. I am not. I am taking this very, very, very serious. And I know it's very serious and stuff. It can mean a total change of what we have right now. But I'm just saying to you, I don't want to get to November this whatever election day, 6, I think, of this year. And that yellow haired son of a gun wins the election. He gets in there. I'm saying to you and everything that even if he does get into power, It is not the end. It is not the end. There will be fighting going on no matter what. There's going to be a struggle going on because there's going to be a struggle for power. And I'm looking at this man and saying to all of our audience, people who listen to us and everything, know who your enemy is. We know what this man is all about. We know what he means to the Republican Party, and they're using him to try to obtain power. Old Mitch McConnell sat back and watched that son of a gun be the president. He let him go twice. But I guarantee you, right after that, he regretted like all get out that what the heck he did, because he could have destroyed him a long time ago. But now that son of a gun came back, talked about his wife. He
Big
talked
time.
about his wife, man. Dog girlfriend out. Because he knew what the heck he could do with him. They're sitting there holding on to, they don't know what, man. It's a firecracker there. That thing might explode in their daggone hand any minute. you and it's just unbelievable, Ted, that someone or anybody can sit there knowing that this person is a detriment to them, but they're going to turn around and follow them anyway to the gates of hell. They're going to
Yeah.
follow him to the gates of hell. They got Milwaukee, the city of Milwaukee was mad at him because he called them a what? A dirty old place. You don't want to go there. But
Yeah.
they got a big sign set up there saying Trump likes Milwaukee and all of that. And guess what they done? They done paid them people off. So we can't have all this stuff going on. So they're running around paying off people, giving away a whole lot of money, man, to keep that stuff as civil as they can keep it. But Trump ain't gonna lie to be civil. And our only problem is that everybody is sitting around there saying to them that this old man can't be elected the president.
Yeah.
We getting ready to shoot our own self in the foot. We're winning, and now we're gonna shoot ourselves in the foot. And
What is that about? You know about politics. What is that about?
the man is he has gotten old and feeble, and most people don't who are on top, the money folks, don't believe that he is going to be able to get through November the 5th without having some big disaster happen, or they're thinking that he has dementia or some old folks' diseases and everything, and they're afraid that the country won't elect him because he's an old man. But what is your alternative?
Yeah. What is their alternative? Kamala Harris. She's the next one in line.
They're going to have the same problem. She's a woman and a black woman. What do you think Hillary went through 8 years ago? She's a woman, and white men don't want a woman.
And white women.
The people with all the money don't want a woman, and now this woman black. Well, she ain't all the way black. She just,
Right. Right.
but she's a woman, and I don't know, man, Ted. I'm thinking I'm thinking that what's going to happen is that everybody's going to have this whole big fiasco going on, and they're fighting amongst each other, and nobody's going to be able to get ahead, and it's going to be sitting down there nip and tuck until November. Biden's not going to give up. I don't know why they're even messing with that old man. He's not leaving. I don't care what they do or what they say. He is not going anywhere. So if you know he's not going anywhere, then and you don't want Trump in office, then you better do something to help this man to win.
I agree.
What it takes to get this man to win.
Did you
And
read?
I
Did you read?
understand, Ted, I watched this guy, even after debate. I'm looking at Biden. Man, I can barely sit here and look at him. The man is old. And he's sitting there and stuff, and I'm waiting and stuff to see him mess up or say something wrong or do something wrong or fall down or trip or whatever and hurt himself. And then they'll be saying, oh, there he goes. He's too old.
Well, here's the thing.
But you got a person and stuff who stands before a crowd of people, not a big one, a crowd of people, and he gives a speech that any sane man couldn't give. Now, I'm gonna tell you who that reminds me of. Right here in Georgia, they had this brother, black guy, football player, who was running for the
I knew you
U.S.
going
Senate.
there.
He was running for the U.S. Senate, and he was he, he was an embarrassment to them. And they got him through the primary. He beat all the people out through the primary, and they were looking at him. They would sit out there in the stands, and he would be talking about ghosts and foxes and, and whoever else, just like Trump doing right now. And they elected a black man to be the senator out of Georgia because they couldn't afford to have that man getting into the U.S. Senate seat and embarrassing the state. But it was a whole lot of Republicans, man, that was backing this guy up, man. They didn't care. And they do the same thing they're doing right now. They didn't care. Only thing different is that Biden ain't black. He just old. He got that strike against him. He's an old man, whereas my boy back here, Warnock, he was black. So I'm thinking, Ted, that if they stand behind Biden and stuff, I believe that they're going to go ahead and elect him because you're going to have to make the case and stuff that what do you want to have? An older gentleman and stuff, your grandfather in the White House, or do you want to have a nut in the White House?
Yeah.
And a whole lot of same people and stuff going to sit down there and they're going to keep fidgeting. They're going to keep fidgeting and fidgeting and fidgeting. And you're going to have to make them believe. And I believe that them same folks going to walk into that daggone booth. If you can get your people out to vote, make sure your people get out to vote. There's going to be a whole lot of Republicans who are going to sit at home or who are going to go into that daggone booth and vote for that old man.
Yeah.
I believe that's going to happen. It might not, but you're going to have to stand up there with this man and go with him. You can't sit down there and be waffling with him. You got to stand up. I watched Jim Clyburn, South Carolina, Democratic leader. I'm riding with Biden. Get a slogan together. I'm riding with Biden. And
Yeah.
they kept asking them, what you want? I'm riding with Biden. And they said it 4 times. I'm riding with Biden. And somebody else asked me, say, I'm riding with Biden. Did you hear me? I'm riding with Biden. Get you some slogans together and start riding with him. And admit it. Yes, he's old. He's old. He's slowing down. But he's a better alternative than having a felon representing your country.
Well, you got to
That's
tell
what you
that
got
to
to do.
70 million voters.
That's what you got to do. You got to sit down there and take your lumps and bumps with him. Yes, he old. Admit it. He old. That's your grandfather up there. Yes, he's getting old, senile. Could be. Hell, just like I said the other day, look at old Mitch. He was sitting down there. He couldn't even talk. and he's still he's still a leader of the Republicans in the Senate. they ain't kicked him out. They ain't hollered at him. I'd be showing him. Get me an ad and stuff and everything. And so, okay.
Hey, how old is Grassley?
Huh?
Ain't Grassley like 90 years old?
I don't know how McConnell is.
No, Grassley.
Who?
Grassley from Iowa.
Oh man, they ain't he
Senator
about ready,
Grassley.
he about ready to go, man. Shoot. They all old men.
Well, I'm going to put it like this. On certain cases, you get some of these, there's a number of, on both sides, younger people under 40.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are very educated.
They are.
And very astute.
They are.
They know the business. And you got some that barely got a high school degree.
Yep.
But they are vocal.
Yep.
So, and there's no shame. None. No respect for, you know, a congressperson used to be somewhat respected. A senator was definitely respected. They were stately like.
Mm-hmm.
There are people right now that is in these offices right now know they shouldn't be there. But it's a grift. And they was able to connive the voters to vote for them, tell them they was going to do something for them. And there are people that have done nothing, not have done anything for their district, but they keep on voting them in.
They keep on voting them in. We have to get smart, Ted, about politics. You don't become afraid because something goes wrong in your campaign. Every campaign, every person and stuff who run for an office and stuff, and we can look back into each and every one of these campaigns that's been going back. Go back and just look at those campaigns. Something goes wrong. It's how you come out of those bad times is how you become the president or how you become a congressman or how you become a U.S. senator. Is how you come out of those bad spots because everybody is not going to win. And now, if Biden was 5 years younger and stuff, I'm pretty sure the same thing probably would have happened. He went out and had a bad debate. But would you throw him out because he had a bad debate? Would the party say, we don't want him there because he had a bad debate? But because the man is old, you'd have allowed the media to denigrate him, to do whatever you can to him. And the man, he's sitting around there now, 80-something years old, man. I have no idea, Ted, if he's gonna make it or not because there's so much pressure on him. But there's pressure and stuff in running a campaign for any office, especially the president. And I'm gonna go back to what I was getting ready to say and stuff. When I see him, because of what these folks and stuff, Ted, was talking about him, he old and something gonna happen to him. If they hadn't did that and everything, I would not be looking at Biden the same way. But I'm looking at him like he's gonna fall down, and I'm afraid that something's gonna happen. I'm serious, man. I can't hardly look at him because I think he's gonna fall down or say something wrong or mix his words up or something like that and everything. And
He's
they
already a stutterer.
right, he's and they're gonna beat him over the head for it. And he speaks quietly, is not really strong, and his thoughts and stuff and everything are not like a 40-year-old Rhodes Scholar, but still, the man is the figurehead. He
He gets
doesn't
things
run.
done, bro.
He doesn't run this country. He tells people what needs to be done. He puts people in the place to do what needs to be done. That's what makes him good. That's what makes any president good. He gets people behind him that can do the job. He can't do everything. I don't care if he's 40 years old, he can't do everything. This is a big country. And somebody needs to get out there and articulate that. Don't put Biden out there. He don't need to be out there. They already know he's old. Put somebody else out there and explain to what the heck going on. We have a president sitting over here, and this is what's going on. The man is 80 some years old. And you have to draw that contract. Do you want an 80-year-old man who knows how to get stuff done? Because he's a very smart, he's not a dumb person, he's not a criminal. This is who he is. What do you want? Draw that distinction instead of sitting down there beating him up and telling him to get the hell out of the race. The man don't want to leave out of the race. He want to still stay there. But
You
guess
know,
what, Ted?
the one thing that when I'm listening to, they're saying that they're concerned about the down ballots, the Senate, the senators, the Congress people.
You worried about bull crap, man? You worried about that for? Biden ain't doing your job. You know what the heck you about. You can stand up for yourself. You are a representative in the House. Stand up for yourself. Don't worry about him. Yes, he's there. He's the president and everything. That's Biden. I'm running. I'm the one that's doing my job for you. Stand up. Get some oomph behind you and everything. I don't
That's
care
the
about
problem.
that. And they're running away from him. Well, hey, I'm going to stop and talk to them new people. Hey, man, y'all know he's old, but I'm doing my job. This is my job. I got a job to do here. I got to take care of my people in my district. Whether y'all vote for him or not, that's y'all problem. I'm running.
Well, that's the whole problem. They are not
Yeah,
out
nobody
there.
wants to stand up and do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And they figure that money is going to cure all their
Thank
problems.
you. Thank you. There it is.
Money is not going to cure all your problems.
There it is. They worried about fundraising.
That's
And
it.
can you give me some money?
Give me some money
Get your butt out there and start talking to the
and
people.
start talking to the people. Walk down there and knock on these folks' doors and stuff and know who your people are. Go to the daggone meeting. Go to the school board meeting. Go to the city council meeting. Go to all of them and talk to these people who out there. Know who gonna vote for you. That's the only thing you need to do. And get you an army, volunteer
Well,
army behind you.
here's the thing. This is the one thing that I'm sort of kind of
You got you
happy
got
about.
you
I'm
got
not
2 minutes, man, before the time is up. 2 minutes. We got to
this
close.
is what I'm sort of kind of happy about is that they're not talking Gaza, Ukraine. They're all on Joe's back, and now we found out that MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, all the major channels, they all their CEOs are Republicans. They are Republicans. So they want Trump in there because of them taxes and regulations. Because we know that he's gonna get rid of all the regulations. So it's a loop. Because today, did you see Kamala on TV today?
No.
She was on TV today. Major speech. She was sounding good. She looked good too. And I've never seen her look and speak so well and talk about the things that they've done and what they want to do. But yet still, I turn the channel and I don't see nobody carrying it but this one station. Yeah. And guess what station it was?
MSNBC.
No.
Who? It wasn't Fox. It wasn't Fox. But a C-SPAN. Oh, okay. Well, let C-SPAN do it. Ted, if the only thing is happening is C-SPAN is doing it, then you can figure out a way how to get that out there into your media. These people got millions and millions and millions of dollars. They can take snippets and stuff out of her speech, things that sound good, put it in the TV ad. They're going to put it on the TV then. They're going to put it on there. But we have to, and I don't know what them Democrats are going to do. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm going to just ride out the storm. But this is my only personal opinion. They need to get her out there a lot more. They need to get some more people out there a lot more and let them get out there and talk about this man being out there as your president. You got time. But this plan need to be made to do something and everything to shore him up. If you want him to be president, if you don't want Trump to be president, you better shore Biden up. Because you can't, and I'm looking at all these other folks out here. You got George Clooney sitting out there. He done gave a big fundraiser and gave money to him. And he turns around and write an op-ed for the New York Times telling that man he needs to get the hell out of there.
That is sad.
If Biden doesn't lead, what is he going to do? He done painted himself into a corner. You done just painted yourself into a corner. Somebody should have said something to him. Say, hey, brother, you painting yourself into a corner. What you going to do if this man does not retire? He could have quietly called him up and told him that, because he'd been over there to his house for the fundraiser. He gonna answer his phone call because he putting money into his daggone campaign. So you gonna call him and say, hey man, you need to get out of there. And if he tell you, George, I ain't leaving, I don't care what you say, then at least you ain't put the shit out there into the op-ed.
Millions of people reading it.
Yes, sir. And it's news all over the news media.
All over the news.
All over the news media. Every major news media is saying big something because guess what? They want news, and that stuff makes big news. Okay, Ted. People, we're going to continue this stuff on our next visit, our next time, because this stuff right here is like candy, man. It's it's like candy. It's like the Jay's potato chip. You can't stop eating it.